Alright guys, welcome back to Frankencards. Today we're going to be working on the gauge cluster on this thing. The gauge cluster tells us the RPM, it tells us the speed, it tells us what gear we're in. Also, we're going to be wiring in the ignition switch, which we should have done a long time ago, the kill switch, and also quick update on the truck. I've actually painted the entire body, so now all that green dumpster is black. I also fully welded the chassis, painted the chassis, and then also painted the shifter knobs and everything else, but let's do this. Okay, so we have the gauge cluster off the car now, and all we got to do is find some plugs that match this, and luckily I had these in my stockpile, so Lewis is going to get to wiring this thing up and powering it up and seeing if he can get everything else hooked up.
Alright guys, so we're running into some issues here. The gauge won't power up, and we got the battery at the voltmeter and it's showing power, so it should be coming on.
I don't know what it could be. I mean, we use the trusty source, you know, eBay. There's no warranty implied either, so that's what I'm saying. It's kind of odd, honestly, coming from eBay. I went ahead and ordered another one, and we're probably gonna return that one as a defective.
I'm gonna do one last attempt and maybe plug it up to the other truck.
And it's the exact same gauge too.
It's the same exact gauge, so we're just gonna plug it up and hope it works.
Okay guys, so new problem.
Here's a new problem.
Somehow the gauge works over here, but it doesn't work on the bench. But when we measure power and ground at this connector right here, it shows power and ground in the same exact spots. So we're gonna have to do a little bit more digging and try to figure out why that is. So we'll be right back.
All right guys, so after going back to the drawing board and basically testing for powers and grounds with a handy power probe that Gilbert got us for Christmas.
That's right.
You found that on the diagram it says that it's for oil, and that's not even an option for us, so it's actually a signal wire to make it power up. So this should make it power up right now, so let's see what happens. And lo and behold, there you go, power up on the bench. So now let's get it wired up and try and go for a ride.
All right.
All right guys, so this is what one of the little pins for the gear selector looks like, an original pin. And then you go to machining class with Gilbert.
You grab one of these bolts.
Grab one of those.
You put it on your underpowered lathe. Put it on that chuck right there. Right. Then you spin this around on a grinder. You get it down to where your circumference is you know, right for your hole, and then you cut it to length. And then if you want to get fancy with it, you can always do a little recess for the spring to sit in, just like the original ones. But this is pretty much what you end with, something that looks almost original, and it works because I've already stuck it in the hole, and it actually sits in there pretty good, and it has a pretty good amount of tension too. So
so it's gonna work just fine. We got everything routed
into our rat's nest.
Into our rat nest here. And all these wires are open and ready to create shorts, so we're good there.
Yep.
Primarily this one and these others.
That one there is a ground, so if it touches anything that's ground already, I'm not concerned about it.
Okay.
Anything that's powered, yeah.
We might be looking into problems.
Yeah. These right here are all signals to the tachometer, so basically when you ground one of these wires, it'll either turn on like the left blinker or the high beams or whatever, but we don't have any of that stuff, so we're not using it.
But we could.
We could, but I'm not using it. So,
all right. So anyway, what you're here for, let's do it. Let's turn this thing on, Gilbert. Let's see what's up. What we got going on.
We got our 3 switches right here. This one here is ignition, so this one's the ones that, this is a kill switch basically. This is the one that turns it on and kills it whenever you're done. This here is a starter. I know that this is a...
Just ran my foot over.
I know,
but
that's a safety mechanism.
that was due to our safety mechanism here.
Yeah.
That apparently
are we not starting over?
No, we'll keep that. Apparently, the light for neutral stays on. You have to throw it in gear when it said it'll go off.
Yeah, when it's off, you have to put it in gear so the light doesn't stay on and drain the battery.
It's a safety mechanism for you to know that it is out of gear, but it's also a safety mechanism for you to know that it is in gear before you turn it on. And that's a new mechanism that's coming out. So it's time. You just gotta get used to it.
You might find that in your 2018 models, 2019 models. So
that's something. It was 2020 now, so this is on to new things.
Back to our original deal.
That's a kill switch.
This is a starter. I know that it's just a flick on for now.
God, here we go again.
I know. That's why I did it a quick flick. So this is the starter. We don't have just a push button, so I've ordered a few of them now. They might be coming from China, so it might take a while. So this will work for now. And then this here is our main switch. This is all our lights and all our functions. So without further ado, ba-down. So there's our gauge pod. And right now, like I said, we are in first gear, neutral. So that allows the car to roll around freely. When you go down, since this is for a motorcycle and they don't have reverse, 5th gear is gonna be our reverse gear. So that's gonna tell it, whenever we see 5, that's reverse. We go back the other way of the spectrum and we have 1st gear, 2nd gear, 3rd gear, and 4th gear. So today is a success.
And without further ado, it's time to put that front fascia on and take it for a spin.
Yeah.
It's up and running. Starts right up.
Sounds real good.
Sounds pretty damn good.
Pouring on me.
Fuel?
Fuel like a mother. That's why I was like, I'm pretty sure Lewis is gonna tell me, but I was like, oh, he probably can't even see it.
For this shot, I'm wearing the jock strap. Basically, gonna get a first-person view. All right, and that's how you stall that. Got a fuel problem. Better? Throttle's a little touchy. Not good. Steering on it is really, really good. Super easy to steer. Yeah, it's wanting to die out.
Yeah.
Maybe it's too much fuel.
Huh?
What if we choke it?
Oh, choke it, yeah.
Try choking it out. Huh?
Starts running clean, but there's not enough fuel. So a filter would help.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get it there. Oh, it's popping wheelies! Popping wheelies! The whole front end goes. Yo! Yo, that thing is sick, dude. Oh my god. Go. Oh man. Oh, let's see what it does. That's it. It's ready to go. Huh? You lost there, buddy? Oh, no crap. It started running like crap again or not? No, it ran good. We're going home. It's spinning fuel in my face. What happened now? There you go. Yeah.
Were you turning the starter?
I was going to.
Oh wow. Yeah, I think when you hit that curve,
Yeah.
it kicked the steering wheel out of your hand, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I could have held it, but I wasn't prepared. I wasn't paying attention.
Are you good?
I should have held it, but
and it needed alignment really, really bad, dude. Those tires are sitting there doing this, and it's horrible because remember that one side that's like bouncing around?
Yeah.
It makes it a lot worse. So, should definitely. That's gonna be next up on the list. But I mean, it runs, and we got to figure out that fuel problem.
And we took a ride in it. Well, we already have a petcock valve for it, so.
Yes, I do. So that's gonna limit the amount of fuel that goes in it. And push comes to shove, if that doesn't work, then we can always wire a return to the tank. So it's not gonna be that bad. So that's a minor issue. Honestly, not an issue at all. So this thing is on track though. So hopefully after we get all this done, get all this finalized, we can take it out a couple times around the neighborhood one more time just to kind of give it a good once over and make sure that it actually performs well before we go out there and break something out there and then we have to drag it over here. That's not going to be fun. So
well, see you on next video. Like, comment, subscribe.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.